Good morning. Good morning. My name is Jacqueline Richardson. It's JJ Diamond, Deja, Jackie, whatever y'all call me. Welcome to my podcast. Today, we want to talk about evil people, even if it's your family. Now, some of us, if we're Christians or working our way to become a full-fledged Christian, you cannot be around toxic people. Okay? And if you have toxic people in your household, in your life, things will never get better for you unless you get rid of them. And the reason I know is because being that I am working to be a full-fledged Christian and been for years, God tells me so in my Bible that I read. No matter what Bible it is, the verses are still the same. And some may explain it a little bit better than others, but the fact remains that if it's toxic or wicked, you have to get away from it. Now, I want to talk about this because I've been living in a toxic lifestyle for, I would say, maybe the last 10 years of my life. Okay? And sometimes it's hard to identify, and I'm not only talking about my relationship, I'm talking about the people in my house, okay, was very toxic to my life. And when you identify a person being toxic, is when they are causing problems for your life, things that hurt you inside, you're always uneasy and unable to focus. Now, a lot of people in the music industry, as y'all know, I'm in the music industry. A lot of people was angry with me because I kept saying I'm leaving the music industry. There's a lot of people out there that love my songs, and I'm thankful for that. God had put me in that realm for people to hear my voice and what I have to say. However, when I do give my voice and my thoughts, I can't write toxic rhymes like other people. They pour they drama and they whatever they going through mental into a song and give it to the world. I personally can't do that. God won't allow me to. Okay. However, when it comes to writing fun songs, I can do that. That's just who I am. And people need to understand that. I'm not going to pour my bad relationships with people into songs and talk about them through my music. I can't do that. But today, God is allowing me to talk about the toxic that I have to deal with on the daily basis of my life and why I need to leave music until I can get a hold on my life. And that's just the bottom line. You can't be focused on helping others if you are dealing with toxicity. I can't say the word, guys. I'm sorry. You're dealing with a toxic lifestyle. You just can't do it. Okay? So, with that being said, and me being a person that loves God and loves Jesus Christ, I cannot continue to pour my toxic lifestyle into you guys. I can't do that. Okay? So, with that being said, yes, I have to focus on getting the toxic out of my life. Now, I've asked many, many, many people to help me, and they've ignored me like it was nothing wrong, and sometimes, we look at things as God put people in place in your life so they can help you. But if they ignore that, there's nothing you can do about it. You still have to move forward. And God will find a way for you to get out of that toxic lifestyle. Now, this toxic lifestyle has took a hold of my life, and it's getting to the point where you want to hurt people, and when you want to hurt people, it has to end, okay? Even when you go to a psychiatrist, the first thing they ask you, are you feeling like you want to hurt yourself or hurt others? Okay? Now, when you start to feel like that, whatever's toxic in your life, it needs to be removed. It has to be removed, because you will put yourself in a realm where you can't come back from it, because we also have laws, and we got to think about that. I have my daughter. I love Billy. She got some issues. She's a little spoiled. But she's still mine, and I love her. Even with my other daughter, I love her as well. But there's a lot of people in my life, and my son, Dejour, I love him well. But there's other people in my life that I do not love and do not want in my life. And when you tell people these things, they're looking at you like you're crazy, and you're saying to yourself, I know God told me I don't have to deal with this. So who's the crazy one here? It must be you, because I'm telling you what's going on in my life, and you're doing nothing to try to help me. No way possible. So when you see that the people around you don't want to listen to you and don't want to accept the facts of your life, then they're toxic as well. Okay? And you need to get rid of them as well. And that's just what it is. I hate to say that sometimes you got to get rid of all the people in your life and start over. I had to do that several times. My mother used to be so angry with me and say, Jackie, why would you move so far away from me? Because at that time, I felt like you were toxic. And if you're toxic, I have to get away from you in order for me to get my blessings. I can't get blessings if you're constantly blocking my blessings with your negativity. And then when you tell people what you're going through, and they're looking at, like I said, they're looking at you like, nah, this is impossible. Nah, this can't be happening. And you're telling them this is what's happening. And they just blow you off. And I say it again, they just as toxic as the people around you. So sometimes you have to take a break and help yourself. And that's what I've always done, because I've always found myself around toxic people. And I made, just like yesterday, I made a post saying, I'm from the projects. Yeah, I might as well. I lived in a house, but my house was surrounded around projects, millions of people. Okay. And some of those people were really, really good people. However, there was a lot of them that was very, very, very toxic. So it's easy for me to identify toxic people because I've been dealing with toxic people all my life. Okay? So there's no reason for people to tell me that I'm wrong. I just don't want to accept what they do and have to deal with what they do when I identified a long time ago that they were toxic and couldn't wait to get rid of them. I shouldn't have to help toxic people, and I refuse to help toxic people. And I've always been like that all my life. No one is going to change that. Now, people say they don't like me because I speak my mind. I speak my mind to tell you that you are toxic and you need to get your shit together. Excuse my language. This wasn't supposed to be an explicit podcast. But the fact of it is, I give you a warning. I let you know where you're going wrong. And then you still repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. I'm not going to sit there and watch you continuously be toxic, not only to me, but to others, and not say anything. That's not God's way. Because God gives us signs, and sometimes he puts it in other people to let you know where you're going wrong. So with that being said, like I said, like even from my hood, a lot of people loved me, and there was those that hate me. And I didn't care, because I'm going to tell you how I feel. Especially when you're doing something wrong to me and I see it, or you're doing wrong to not only me, but to others too. But you don't want to justify that. You want to make them look like, make yourself look like you're the victim. Well, people, I want to tell you, that's a mental disability. Okay? When you create drama, problems, not only for your life and for others, it's a mental issue there. And you need to seek help. And if you don't want to seek help, then we leave you, especially the people that's seeking God, leave you in the darkness. Okay? Everybody gets a warning before God takes a hold of the situation. I just don't get how people think that you have to have loyalty to people that don't have loyalty to themselves. You don't, people. You don't have to have loyalty for those that don't have loyalty for themselves. Because if they're mistreating you, that means they don't love themselves. If they feel like they don't need you that much, where they can hurt you and mistreat you, then they don't have love for themselves. Okay? They want to stay in the dark. And if that's where they want to be, you leave them there. So, I'm one, I never really try to talk about other people's lives, because like I said, I was saying that in the Jada and Wells podcast. I didn't want to speak on it because I don't like talking about other people's lives, but I had to speak on it on the fact of what she possibly could have been going through, and everybody ignored it. And then now that she's taken a hold of her life, people want to down her for it. And that's why I spoke on it. And it's the same with me. Any other woman out here that's going through, woman, man, it could be a woman or a man, it doesn't matter. It can be a dog. You hit a dog too much, you're going to run away. You don't feed the dog is going to run away. God shows us through animals the same way he shows us in life. You can't keep abusing a person and don't think that they're not going to fight back. or take total control. So even with children, the government got these kids so messed up today. It's unreal. The laws put in place for these children, and they tell you got to deal with it. Okay, you deal with it to the 18, and then they still think that they can try the same stuff when they was a child. The only reason why I let you slide with certain things because I didn't want to go to jail. But now you're an adult, so you're my equal. And see, this is where they mess up at, And I'm getting so tired of these people thinking you owe them something. I don't owe you anything. I'm here to help you if you need me, but I don't owe you nothing. You ask for my help, I give it to you, but I don't owe you anything. So, unless we had an agreement on something, and that's a whole total different story. But I don't have to give you anything. But when I do, respect it. Don't throw me back negativity. I'm at my boiling point, and this is why I'm making this podcast. Because I need people to hear me for what it is. You need to hear me. Because bad things might happen very soon. And I'm just being honest. When people are calling out for help, you listen. I hate to bring this up again because I hate to put myself in that emotional state, because that's what we do. We put ourselves in emotional states by thinking and talking about certain events. But it's the same way when my brother was being raped every night. And I was asking for help. I was 11 years old, 12 years old. And I was asking people for help. And I was telling them what was going on. And they didn't want to believe me. Until my brother took his last breath. It took the sacrifice of my brother before somebody believed me. My brother had to be raped every night, a 2-year-old child, before somebody believed me. Do y'all see why I take this bereavement so hard? I carried this bereavement for 40 years. Because it took for my brother to be raped every night. His intestines busted before they got the toxic man out of our life. I told my teacher. I told my daycare provider. I told my mother. I even told the doctors. And they all ignored what I said. And my brother died in my arms. People When someone is asking for help, you help them. So they won't have to go through what I'm going through right now, what I went through 40 years ago. Because you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. You don't know. And if they get enough guts to come to you with it, that means they need help. Yeah, I realize there's a lot of liars out here. And sometimes you have to say to yourself, is it a lie? But the way you do that is you step in. And when you see the facts, then you can make your decision. But you don't just say, forget about people when they're asking for help because you don't know what they're going through. People say to me, why did you build this nonprofit that you are giving your soul to these people? Because of what I went through. When I was hungry, did nobody feed me? When my mother took all her fucking money, excuse my language, people, when my mother took all her money and smoked crack with it, nobody was there to feed me. I couldn't knock on nobody's door and say, give me a meal. I packed bags to feed me and my brother. So when somebody tell me that they're hungry, I believe them. And I feed them. Because I've been there. Do you know what it's like to make a pot of rice that you've gotten from the welfare line? And only seasoning you have is onions. Dry rice with onions and no butter. That's why I hate to even hear some of these people talk about, oh, I come from the gutter. You don't know what the gutter is. You don't know what living in a toxic household is. Because at least your mama can get a welfare check or food stamps and bring the food, some food in the house. My mother didn't get food stamps. My mother worked every day. And the money she worked for, she kept it to do her. Because she had an illness. But the household was toxic. And as a child, I couldn't get out of it. Because I didn't know what to do. All I could do is tell people what was going on. To help us. But no, people didn't want to hear it. I listen to all kids and everything they say. And that's why they could come to me and say, Miss Jackie, this is going on. I may not go back to their parents and tell them what was said unless I feel the need to, but I will help them. And this is why I love the children, because they don't give a damn about these children. When I was a child, they didn't give a damn about me. And then I'm an adult, and they still don't give a damn. But they want what they want, though. You want to keep draining me for everything I have. Once again, I say to y'all, if it's toxic, you got to get rid of it. And I'm tired of people telling me, no, you got too much invested. No, this is your child. Or no, this is the way life is. No, it's not. It's not. When I read that Bible, and I've been reading that Bible for years, and some verses I forget. But when I read that Bible, God doesn't tell me I have to live like this. So why do people feel like it's okay that you go through what you go through? No, it's not. It's not okay for people to steal your mental. You don't have to deal with it. Oh, I'm so sorry, y'all, for getting emotional. Anytime I talk about my little brother, I get emotional. And, if you ever had a child die in your arms and you was a child, you will understand, I'll never forget, I used to watch TV a lot. And I used to watch Quincy. And just like I said in the book, and I learned how to do CPR by watching the show. And when my brother died, I did CPR to bring him back. By the time the ambulance got there, and all they kept doing was praising me, and praising me. And I kept telling them, I didn't do it for praise. I did it for his life. I did it because I wanted him to live. And all they kept telling me was, you did a wonderful job because you brought him back. And they took him to the hospital and he died again. And I'll never forget the doctor, Presbyterian Hospital. And he told me, he said, we have to let your brother go. And I said, why? And they told me because he needed an intestines and he would not make it. And I just cried and said, give him mine. Give him mine. And the doctor just grabbed me. And he said, I can't give him your intestines. Your intestines is your intestines. And only yours. I wouldn't let that go for years. And I said, what would make me feel better? Nothing made me feel better unless I helped other people. And people tell me, stop, Jackie, stop helping people. But I can't because of the trauma I went through. I don't do it for praise. I don't do it for pictures. And you got these people out here, they do it for pictures and praise, and they get everything. And me, all I get is toxic, wicked people. And I'm tired of the toxic people. I'm tired. I was so angry, y'all. People always say, well, Jackie, why don't you sit back and let people take care of you? Who? Who? There's nobody to take care of me. I take care of them. They don't do nothing for me. Maybe once in a blue moon, I might find one or two friends that will think about me. But they don't do nothing for me. I do it all for them. And that's when you know you're in a toxic lifestyle. When you're putting in more than you're getting back. So, with that being said, this is why those toxic people, you have to just leave them alone. Get away. You know, I felt like my mother and my father was toxic to me for many, many years. And this is why I always went away. Some of my friends, they know who they are because I told them already. I had to get away because they was too toxic for me. You know? And I took myself on an emotional roller coaster this morning. I'm trying to get myself together, y'all. It's just anytime I talk about my brother, it's just, you know, it really gets to me. Because he didn't have to die. He didn't have to die. You know, I attached myself to my grandson to protect him because of what happened to my brother. And I think I spoiled him too much, you know. Now you see how the domino effect can destroy your life. And now I hate him. That love has turned into hate. I don't want to see nothing bad happen to him. But he's too toxic. You know? And you say to yourself, you know, am I wrong or am I right? When you're trying to love a child. You know, I was a child that, you know, I was spoiled as well. You know, my aunt and my uncle, because of what I went through, you know, they spoiled me a lot. You know, they gave me almost whatever I wanted, you know. And I turned out differently. You know, I learned to love. I learned to give. Not only give like money, I learned to give love, time, and be appreciated, you know. I mean, to learn how to appreciate. And I thank God for them for giving me that. You know, they were hard on me, you know. They gave me responsibility. And everybody in my neighborhood knew it, you know. Every night after dinner, we didn't have a dishwasher. I had to wash the dishes. I didn't feel like I was a slave. I didn't feel like I was Cinderella. But this is what it was. And they needed to teach me these things, to have responsibility. And I thank God for them. Because now I'm responsible. You know, they taught me how to live. And I hate the fact that they had to leave me so soon. You know, they died when I was 17. And it hurt me because I learned so much from them. You know, survival, life, And this is why I talk about my family so much, because without them, I wouldn't be the person I am today. And when they took me in their home after my brother died, they understood. They gave me love. And I appreciated it. But they also didn't let me get away with things that they knew was wrong. And I was thankful for that, because I was able to see both sides. And anybody can tell you that know me, my aunt and uncle, they gave me almost everything. I was 13 years old and had boxes of sneakers, shoes piled up on the wall. They can tell you any outfit I wanted, I got, but I had to put my work in. And this is why I am who I am today. They say she always working. The reason why I work is because that's what they trained me to do. And y'all can't take that away from me. Whether I'm working for somebody else or working for myself, this is who they trained me to be. And I like it. I like being able to work and get stuff for me. Be able to buy what I want when I want it. You can't take what they taught me away. They was telling me, oh, you're in the music industry, don't work. I don't want you to work. They was sabotaging me so I wouldn't be able to get a job because I'm in the music industry. But I was always taught, if it's not enough money there, get up off your tail and work. This is what I was taught. You don't wait on no government to give you nothing. But they were government because they filed taxes every year. You can't take who these people raised me to be away from me. You cannot. And these people were Southern people. This is why I came back to the South and I decided to stay, because I want to know where they get their mental from. I want to know why they think the way they think. All of them people in New York is from the South. And we live more Southern than the people in the South. Why? This one turned into a whole different podcast. I'm sorry, y'all, but this is just me trying to get out all the toxic that I'm around, and they're trying to tell me I have to deal with it when I don't. I don't. And that's just what it is. When that man that was raping my brother tried to rape me, I didn't just lay there and let him rape me. I fought. And I fought. And then my grandmother walked in. And that helped me. But he wasn't getting it that easy. You understand? So you got to keep pushing. Even if people tell you oh, you're lying, or whatever you feeling is not right, keep pushing until you get that toxic gone. Because that's what I do. I keep pushing. And I pray and I ask God to cover me and give me the strength to keep going down the road that He wants me to go down. Because if He didn't want me to go down it, He wouldn't make it available to me. And you allow toxic people to destroy that for you. This lady I met in Buffalo, I don't want to talk about her name or, who she's affiliated with. And she does live here in Charlotte right now. She told me, she said, Jackie, no one can do anything to you unless you allow it. And I took that in two different ways, because sometimes people do stuff to you and you can't stop it, But when you got God and you're fighting your way out of that toxic lifestyle, oh, He will make it happen. Believe me. He will find a way. That's why He's the Almighty. You just have to believe. Just like I believe right now. For all those that I asked for help that didn't help me, that's on them. Because God is going to still help me. He's going to give me what I deserve. And that's peace. So, for those that don't understand, maybe you understand a little bit better now. And if you still don't understand, I don't know what to tell you. You're going to keep living your life in darkness. Well, this is the end of this podcast, y'all. Because I gotta get myself together. And I took myself down a road that I didn't want to be in today. But maybe I needed to go down that road. Sometimes you just need to go down a road just so you can see some things, But this is Miss JJ Diamond, Jackie, Jacqueline, Deja, the woman with a bunch of names. I love you all. Y'all all have a wonderful, blessed day. And y'all take care and just pray, y'all. Pray. Because things are getting harder and harder every day. And you got to see the light. I love you all. Take care.